right, hey guys, today we're taking a look at the band Europe, and we're taking a look at the early part of their career. Two riffs from their second album, Wings of Tomorrow. This was 1984, and this is when John Norum was the only guitar player in the band, along with Joey Tempest, the singer. So, if you know the band, they've had other players. They had Key Marcello come in later on second guitar. Great guitar combination. But on the early stuff here, we're looking at John Norum as a guitar player. So John's one of my favorite players of all time. He's like a great mix of Gary Moore and Michael Schenker, with that kind of sensibility with the melody, but still the pentatonic and the blues mixed in there. But today, we're not taking a look at the solos. We're taking a look at the riffs to two songs, the two lead-off tracks from that album. One being Scream of Anger, and the second one being Stormwind. So these are really cool. We'll take a look at Scream of Anger first and then get into Stormwind. We'll go through these fairly quickly. I'm going to show you more than just the main riff, but I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. So with that, I would point you down to the description box below, and there will be a link to download the tab for this. I've got tab for both riffs. Check that out if you get lost with me explaining this here. Make sure you refer to the tab, okay? Also, in the description box, you'll find my free sweet picking guide, Sweet Picking Bootcamp. It's my free gift to you. Make sure and grab that. All right, so now we're tuned standard for this. If you do try to play along with the recording, they're a little off from standard tuning. It's not quite E flat, but it's in between standard and E flat. So I use some pitch correction software to learn these tunes and transcribe them. But if you want to play along with the album, you might need to do the same, or find some live versions, and some of those are in standard tuning as well. But regardless of that, for this lesson, we are in standard tuning. I'm using this Sawtooth Strat style guitar here. It does have a tremolo. You can't see it. There it is. There's the tremolo. It's got DiMarzio pickups in it, and it's a really cool, inexpensive guitar. It sounds good. I'm running it through my Friedman Buxom Boost back here, which you can't really see because I got a mess back there, but it's right here. And then it's going into the Friedman Double J Junior, and that comes out into my Two Notes Torpedo Captor X, and then it's feeding into a Friedman cab, I believe. I've got a Friedman cab on this, and it's a cool tone for single coils. No effects, it's straight in, no reverb or anything on this. So, anyway, let's get along with it here. Like I said, standard tuning. The first riff we'll take a look at is Scream of Anger. This is an F sharp minor. So it goes, actually starts off with some power chord pickups. Like that. So it's an A, E, B. And then it hits an F sharp, a single F sharp note, second fret, low E. Okay, so let me play this slow so you can hear all the notes. Slower. So let me call out the frets for you. 2 low E, and that's 4 on the A, and then open A. Then we're gonna go 5 4 2 open on the A, then 4 2 open. So and then you end it with, and that's 4-5-4 on the low E, back to F sharp, and then it does the turnaround where you play the A, E, and B chord. Okay, so that's the whole thing there. Now, picking wise, I'm alternate picking most of it there. I might have a couple places where I do, you know, a downstroke and then another downstroke, but mostly the riff is alternate pick. Okay, and then just quickly through the verse, just chugging a wham and F sharp. Then that A, E, and B thing again. A, B, C sharp up on the 4th fret. Back to the riff. Look. Verse again, and then it goes, it's kind of a bridge. Let's see. I gotta think through how this goes here. Yeah, so it comes out of the, before that, there's actually that's the part I was missing there. Kind of a, I guess it's part of the bridge. It's a F sharp minor. It's a D, but with an F sharp. It's an E with an F sharp. Back to D and then F sharp. So. Sorry, I'm slightly out of tune there too. Please forgive. And then to the E. Okay, so that's just E power chord. And then again, refer to the tab there, but I'm hitting the open and then 2, 4, 5, all in the low E, back to the F sharp, and then E, there we go, 2, 4, 5, and then climbing with power chords here, F sharp, G sharp, A, C sharp, A, B, C sharp. There's one other part. This is really cool here. These little dyads, 2-note chords. It's 12th fret, 11th fret on the D and G. These are all on the D and G. Then 11 and 9. And then 9 and 7. And then 11 is 9. 9 and 7. 7 and 6. So we're going to go 9 and 7, 7 and 6, 6 and 4, and then the first time it ends on 4 and 2, which is an F sharp minor chord. Second time, same. But instead of going to the 4 and 2, here we go to the C sharp chord on the 4th fret. All right, and that's really the whole thing, except for the solo. That's the main rhythm part, Scream of Anger. All right, so let's move on now to the second tune. Take a look at Stormwind. Let's look at the intro little lead motif, but behind that you hear, with the rhythm guitars and the bass, the little lead part that comes over that. Okay, I've seen some tab of this, and it's horribly, horribly wrong. So They might have the right notes, but they're not bending in the right places. This is an E minor, so you want to think of it in that context. We're taking the 7th fret, and that's an F sharp, which is from the E minor scale. We want to bend that a half step so it sounds like G, and then release it back to the F sharp. So then we're gonna go, and that's 5, 7. So E, it's all on the B string here. 5, 7 on the B, and then bend that up a half step, pick it, release it, pull off to 5. So, okay, so far we have. Now, right after that, we're going to bend 7 up and give it a heavy vibrato. Very John Norum style vibrato here. And that's basically an E note. We just came from E, but notice how cool it sounds with that vibrato in the bend. Then we're going to play this. So we go back to the 5th fret, 7th fret on the B, bend up, pick 7 and bend it up a half step, pull off, release it, and then pull it off to 5. And now we're going to go 7G, 5B, 5, 7 on the G, 4, 5 on the G, and then we'll end this like this. Now we're going to bend 8 on the B string up a whole step this time, and then release it. So you want to test yourself. Make sure you're playing an A there, starting with the G, bending up to A. Release it, and then 7, 5. Alright, I hope that clears that up for you, especially if you've been wanting to learn that tune and you've been looking at those terrible tabs out there. This will really help you out a lot. Okay, the riff, this kind of most of the verse. Is that. So we have four low E's. Actually, it starts with 3. No, it does. It has 4 there. And then, so you'll have 4 of those low E's, and then you'll have 2 parts, 2 little movements going on. And the first one is so it's on the A and D strings, it's 12 and 10, 10 and 9, and then 9, 7, back to 12 and 10, back to 10 and 9. Okay, so second time we do this. So now we're 10. This is all on the A and D. It's 10, 9, 9 and 7, 5 and 4, back to 9 and 7, back to 7 and 5. Okay. Kind of reminds me of Desert Song by Michael Schenker. I don't know if they were influenced by that. That probably came out a little before this, so it wouldn't surprise me if that was an influence on this riff. And then let's see. I just want to show you the chorus part. I think that's what comes next. Oh, there's a little bridge. It goes from A, C, B. These are all power chords. D, chorus. Okay, so it's just an open E, and then E to D power chord, G to C power chord, play G twice, play C once, play A twice. So back to E, a couple low E's in there. A little lick here, melodic lick. 5/4 on the D, and then 5 on the A string. So all that together. Again. Again. Last time. Now this time it goes C, D, and then it goes back to that. This part comes in one more time in the middle. On this one, I'd really work on that vibrato to try to get it sounding good. You can listen to the original if you want, just to get how he's playing that, and it really has a lot of life to it. Give some energy to that single note part there, and then just make sure you're accurate with your bends. You don't want to overbend; it's gonna sound terrible. So just you want a half step in. That's a whole step. Half step. Whole step. Okay, so it's a good little exercise for your bending. That's it, guys. We'll cut it there. Have fun with these riffs. I love these old school European metal style riffs. Very cool. Of course, Europe got a lot more commercial in the later 80s, and then they've gotten heavier, I think, with the current couple albums, and really put out some good stuff. War of Kings is a really good album. I hope I got the name of that right. Really good album. So anyway, if you want to check this out, this is on Wings of Tomorrow from 1984. Go check it out and go listen to some John Norum. He's amazing guitar player. His solo stuff is great too, and yeah, one of my favorites. So anyways, have fun with these riffs, and I'll talk to you next time. Rock on.